Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Filippo Spreafico.
Oh, that was the introduction.
Yes.
Because he said, don't talk. And then, because I'll do the introduction. And then, hello, Anna Beros. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
So happy to have you.
We were talking about having a jingle for your show.
We really were, and you have a great idea.
We came up with one.
No, you did. It's great.
Well, because you have the drumsticks and they really helped me. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Adults only. Adults only. Wait. Adults only. Adults only. Berlin. And that is a
Can I use that? Like, I think...
Absolutely.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It's really good. The way is really good.
I like to give. I like to give.
You like to give?
I like to give in.
I like receiving. That's lovely.
Do you?
Yeah.
Then it's a match made in heaven.
It is. It's perfect.
No.
Adults only.
Adults only.
It's really good.
Thank you so much for the apple juice as well.
Yeah, you requested things for today.
Yes.
So you requested juice and
Sparkling water.
and sparkling water. So this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I haven't got either of these things. So I went for a bike ride to find you some sparkling water.
Thank you so much. You know that you are from New Zealand, but you lived in Australia. So one of my favorite experience with sparkling water that I had was in Australia. I was in Adelaide.
One of your favorite experiences with sparkling water.
I was in Adelaide, the Adelaide Fringe, at the end of during the festival in the Artists Bar.
Artist bar.
Which is spelled in French there.
Artist
bar. They had dispensers of sparkling water. So
Dispensers?
in the sense that they would just there was a tap, and I would just go to the tap, and there was mineral natural water and sparkling water, and I would just get high on sparkling water. I love sparkling water, and I would just drink a lot of sparkling water, and also because it was so hot, I could do all of those gags, holding plastic glass and like throw water everywhere because it would dry immediately.
All those gags.
All those gags you can do
with
water in hot countries. You
Yeah.
can't do them in cold countries because people get really upset
They
if you
do,
throw
right?
water at them.
They do. And also you get wet. Like you don't want to, catch a cold or just
No.
be wet for a long time.
Especially nowadays, you don't want to catch a cold.
You don't. You really don't want to catch
That's
a cold.
illegal.
I have heard actually that you can't get a cold from being cold.
No.
I heard I read that.
You get stronger.
You do, right? You just
I've
you burn more
noticed-
calories apparently.
I've noticed that I get it's easier to get sick in warmer countries because I've noticed that here I barely get sick. I don't really get sick in here.
Yeah.
Because and also I am usually more out with less clothes than necessary in the cold. And if for somebody who comes from Italy or like a warm country to be in Germany in this kind of weather,
we overdress or we underdress.
Well, we're not resistant to the cold. I've grown resistant to the cold, and now it's easier that I get sick in Italy because it's warmer, and then I get comfortable, and then a little bit of cold air comes in. It's like and it creeps in my back.
So people from warmer countries are more sensitive, and therefore they get sick if they leave the climate. Okay.
That's why our economy is in shambles.
That's why you what?
Our economy is in shambles.
It's the Italian economy
Italy.
is in shambles, but like doesn't really apply to other countries like Australia.
No, it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
Very strong economy
And immune systems as well.
Yes,
I think.
because you took a boat.
Everybody
compulsory
boat
taking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful that you remember having these taps of mineral water, and that was like that. Those are quite common actually in co-working spaces. I've been in quite, and they just have mineral water on tap.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a great advancement.
It should be everywhere
of society.
But you get the soda streams like mineral water. I think sparkling mineral water is far more important to Germans than most other nationalities.
You find?
I think so. Like, could you speak for the Italian?
I can just say that you should get sparkling water that is sparkling from the source, don't get the sparkles that are added because that's phony.
That's phony.
I know it's a little bit more expensive, but you should enjoy life and you should enjoy the sparkles that come directly from the source. You know, like the water San Pellegrino.
That comes from
San Pellegrino, which is like a location. And the water comes out sparkling on itself.
That's
bubbly.
Yeah.
Bubbly water
The true
from
stuff. The true
with the salt.
authentic with the salt. Oh, it's so salty though. Oh my god. The one time, the two times I've done comedy in Italy, the second time they gave me way too many minutes, and I was like headlining. They had no idea what they were doing, and they had this mineral water, and I was so dry in my mouth. It was such salty mineral water.
Too many minutes.
Oh, they gave me so many minutes.
And your mouth was dry because of the water, or because
of the water.
of the minutes?
No, because of the water.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I couldn't
salty
pronounce
water.
things properly. Like I was unable to form Italian words because my mouth was just all like
you were
dry
doing
together.
this in Italian.
Yeah. I was doing Italian comedy.
Yes.
Yeah. I did all right. I did all
No,
right.
no. I'm not. But like, I was just thinking.
But yeah, speaking Italian with
I
a
thought
dry
the
mouth.
water was gonna help you.
No, dry mouth with Italian language. No, dry mouth in any language is tough, but with Italian, oh, that was bad. Oh.
It's horrible.
So sometimes sparkling water, like it's the worst thing.
It is the worst thing, but I'm equipped, and
You're equipped.
I use it. I'm done talking about sparkling
Yeah,
water.
me too. I'm
actually.
really
Like,
done.
That's it.
That's good. That's good.
We had to do it.
We did have to. We really had to.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, at least I provided what you needed for this podcast episode.
Yes,
That's,
and I'm pleasantly surprised about your basil plant, which is very healthy. I can see
Oh,
you
thank
have a
you.
wonderful view from your location, and I like it. And you have a drum kit.
Yeah. Nice observations of my space. Yeah, these are all very true.
Yeah, it is all very true. I mean, we do live in different realities, but after all, this is a room
That we're both in.
we're both in.
Exactly.
So
So yeah, reality's checked.
reality checked. Good. We can move forward now. How is the coffee? How's your coffee?
It was too much. I had a coffee earlier. I've realized that coffee is affecting me far more than most other drugs at the moment. I think I can't. Like, I made a second one because I was like, I like the taste. I like the ritual of drinking a coffee. But then I just like I had a couple of sips and it was like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm feeling
too
shaking
much.
and my heart's a little bit, and my eyes feel dry. Yeah.
I have the feeling that maybe there's more to your life than the coffee. That maybe it's not just the coffee.
Yeah, you might be right.
But after all, we can blame the coffee because the coffee is the main cause of the current state of discomfort of the capitalism of surveillance.
Capitalism of surveillance. Yeah.
That's the. I mean, I said it.
You said it. You said it. It's the capitalism of surveillance. I'm trying to unpack that. Really
you
quickly.
shouldn't
I can't.
because it's really dangerous to unpack it.
Yeah, right.
It's, it might
Booby trapped.
Booby trap.
Booby trapped.
What is a booby trap?
A booby trap.
A booby trap
A booby trap is it's something that is set
in the boobies.
in the a booby trap. If something's booby trapped, it's like, there's a door and you open the door and then like that triggers something that then attacks you or is dangerous.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And for why is the word boobies involved?
It's brilliant. I think it's just one of those gifts that the English language gives us.
So it's a booby trap, but like, can anyone say this word? I mean,
Everyone.
If you're a politician at Parliament and say, "Well, this capitalism of surveillance is a real booby trap, isn't it?" Can they say that in a public setting?
I think if Berlusconi said it, he'd be criticized. But I think if other
but he can't
politicians,
speak English.
he can't. True. So
if let's say
safe. But I think the average politician that isn't known for insane levels of
booby trapping,
I think they could get away with it.
So it's okay. You can booby trap. I guess you get closer to the common person, the person of the street.
The person of the street.
The politician gets like by using that terminology.
I wouldn't say it's like a slang word.
It's not even a slang word.
Oh no, it's like a legitimate term for when
so
something
they can
is...
say booby trap, but they can't say boobies in Parliament.
Exactly. It's the difference between the singular and the plural.
It's very interesting.
It's that's called
if it was
capitalism
booby.
of plurality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Paradox. We were saying last night that you should be a politician. I was saying that you should definitely get into politics.
Yes, I should, because I understand the power of lying
Yeah.
and to do it for the common good.
Yeah, right. I think you mentioned right before we started recording that you love confusion. Like you love everything being as complicated as possible.
I don't think.
Confusing.
Sorry, finish.
Yeah, no. Complicated is not the same as confusing. So no, you didn't say complicated. You said confusing.
No, I like confusion in the sense that I mean, of course, it's the illusion of confusion, because there's no such thing as total confusion, unless I mean, if we're talking about a show, then it's okay, because it's about like a whole set of non sequiturs that, though kind of convey a certain sense of absurdity, but if a politician uses purposely a strategy of confusion to confuse the people and make them more vulnerable to whatever it is that power and control does to them, well, that's evil. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's all I gotta say.
Okay. So if you were to run for a political party,
I would spread boobies. I would spread boobies, unspread them, spread them and unspread them, and light, joy, and compassion. That's what I would spread.
Yes. You'd spread that as
but
well.
The boobies.
Boobies mainly.
I can't just pretend I am about everything. I like boobies.
Yeah, boobies are important.
And I'm sorry if any of the liberals here are offended, but I like boobies.
Boobies. Yeah, I think everybody like. I think most people like boobies, except I'd say like male gay community. Not such a fan, but.
So, I have a T-shirt that was made by a friend of mine, and it's a white plain T-shirt with boobies on them, like just like the simple,
just lines,
just
the
lines
half circles,
and the nipples. And of course, when I posted a picture on Instagram with that T-shirt, it was taken down because
truly,
yes, because I had boobies on. And
but topless men are all over.
But I had the T-shirt with the boobies, and that's more offensive than having some neo-Nazi party on Instagram. You know what I mean? So, anyway,
truly, it got taken down.
It got taken down. Yes, it got taken down because it's boobies. Because the algorithm sees the boobies. I'm sorry, but like these machines are made by puritanical Americans. What do you expect? The KKK is allowed, but the boobies are not. Which,
But it also, but like that blows my mind. But like I see friends posting photos, male friends, with their full chest exposed and like nipples and nipple rings and everything, and it's like it's graphic nipple exposure, but because it's on a man, it doesn't get taken down.
Well, I think the good thing about these machines that take down pictures is that they don't really have an understanding of erotism.
Erotism?
Just like erotic.
Eroticism.
Eroticism. Sorry about that.
No.
And so they just see the image. They just see the I don't know, the shape, and so they just delete. But they can't recognize between a shape that is actually very arousing or a shape that is just like it's a T-shirt with
lines.
With lines on it.
Lines can be arousing, but I wonder if these are just really, like maybe just these robots are really. Like they think everything is, but they don't think that males are.
But robots don't think. Like
robots don't think.
It's just about because robots are made by humans, and it depends on what kind of humans make the robots. If these humans are sickos, then the robots will be sickos,
and then they will take down every. Well, I guess if the purpose is to take things down.
I mean, there's plenty of studies that basically say that the algorithm is intrinsically white supremacist. And we all know it.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would we stop the fun that we have on social media because of that?
We don't have fun, do we?
No, absolutely. I think it made our life way more miserable, and we have stopped living in communities.
We've stopped living in communities because of social media.
Oh, yeah. Social media created the opposite of what they promised.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
But has it actually affected your community experience?
My life has become... I have a very distorted relationship with social media because I believe it's the ultimate evil. And every day I say that I should get out of there and just get some real mates, just get out of there and just get some real people. And I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm stuck. Because I've created throughout my life, I've created this kind of happy-go-lucky, go different countries, get in touch with random people, character, personality. And now it's very difficult to give that up, because if you give that up, then you have to make some other kind of choices. Like being in one place more constantly and create real relationships that include also horrible failures with people. Something that I've always tried to avoid.
Give me an example of a horrible failure with people.
A horrible failure with people is when you really, really like someone. And at first when you meet this person, you feel there's a real connection, because maybe you're not thinking that much, and you're just giving this person like a very unfiltered, unadulterated version of who you are, and it resonates a lot with that person. And then you kind of go home and go like, wow, that was a very nice experience with this person. I'd like to see this person again. And then you realize that you meet again, and you're so sort of excited about seeing this person that you don't flow as naturally as before. And then you start sort of getting into your head and thinking, oh my God, why is it not flowing the way it was the first time? Is it and then she goes like, I don't think we should see each other anymore. And then I go like, well, I mean, but it was such a nice connection at first, and then you keep on sort of following this person, and then this person just like, and you become so, you give your heart, and it's horrible. It's because you're so vulnerable, and you just say, please like me, please like me. And that's why that's why I want to quit social media. That's
I thought that social media was actually helping you avoid those situations.
Oh yeah, but I think that everybody's social skills have worsened because of social media. Because imagine you meet somebody. I think so. I actually think. Imagine you meet somebody at a bar, and then you get their contact on, or you find them on social media, right?
Oh, yeah, I try not to do that.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Somebody does that. Some people do that.
Yeah.
And then they see you in real life, and then maybe they go like, well, I don't need to say whatever I think about this person, and maybe I will just send them a message after the evening. You know what I mean? There's always that option. You always have an option to send a message later.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so already having that option makes you less brave automatically. Yes. Because you have the option.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I agree. There's always I suppose that has been the case since basically like SMS, like, I don't know, mobile phones maybe.
Yes.
Because you could always call afterwards as well. So I'm not sure if social media has been...
No, it's the same
I think
thing.
Phones just having...
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I remember I saw this video of a guy who... it was a short film from 2003. And I can't remember who made it. It was a comedy. It was a good comedian, but like, I'm not good with names.
Okay.
But he was sending voicemails to different people, like calling them and just say, hello, I am not here. But he was calling and say, hello, I'm not here. I'm not at home, but you can call me whenever. And he would just spend time re-listening to his own message. So already this kind of narcissistic tendency of consuming oneself through these machines is already been going on for a long time. It's just that we have come to the point, I feel, in which these machines are they are creating the reality for us, and we are not more really much in control.
Absolutely. Yeah, this idea of bravery, though. We would have to go back before, like, back into the
caves.
Well, not that far, but I think, 40s, 50s, pre-telephone.
Ooh, the 40s.
Who doesn't love the 40s? Favorite time period, I'd say. Maybe. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like everyone was just having a horrible time with
Yes,
everything.
but I mean,
unless you
what
had
great
money.
things came out of that?
Oh, such great.
The Cold War,
Right.
bombs,
Bombs,
walls,
walls,
at the FBI.
FBI. Yeah.
A lot of good things came out of, when they
Yeah.
say, my God, there was a war, but then look at what happened right after. Look at the boom.
The boom. The boom.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, please.
Do you think we will ever recover from whatever has happened in the past 2 years?
Ooh.
And I don't mean to
Recover.
be, I know it's a comedy thing, but like...
No. So this is an interesting question. It's a very adult. It's a very adult question.
It's
I
a
think
very adult question.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if children were to listen to this.
Imagine.
That'd be... Ooh. Oh.
Block your ears.
Yes.
Please stop. I think, like, what's recovery, though? Like, I'm going to break down the question because it's...
Yes.
What's recovery? Like,
well,
what?
because we were talking about the 40s, and you said, the 40s, everybody was horrible, and then we were like, but after that, my God, what a...
Well, when I said everyone was horrible, I suppose what I look at in terms of favorite time, like periods in history, in terms of I'm pretty much always looking at it from like the point of view of position of women.
Yes.
And in the 40s, like it was bad for women for sure, but
there were barely any women. So crazy.
But the disparity was there, but it was like, I think more poverty was more of an issue. Like disparity in wealth was more problematic, and there were freedoms. Like women could still be going off and doing their own thing to a point, depending on how much money they had or access to education, whatever. But anyway, going back to like everyone being horrible, like it was a dirty time. Like it wasn't the Middle Ages. There was more freedoms, but it was still like tough to get by. Everyone was kind of like, it was a dirty existence. But recovering from the last 2 years, I think we are extremely damaged by this whole pandemic thing. Like I think we're all.
So that's the pandemic.
I think. Well, what do you think? What are you thinking of the last 2 years?
I don't know.
What are you?
I mean,
referring to in the last 2 years?
Well, yeah, just the general level of violence, psychological violence that we are experiencing generally. I think from all corners.
From all corners. Okay, that's good and specific. Well, yeah, there's been politics, sure, and then there's like a lot of anger and movement around like the state of the environment. Last night you kept saying things along the lines of
my God,
no babies,
less babies, more environment.
More environment.
Please.
Yeah,
less babies, more environment.
Less babies, more
I
environment.
don't even believe in it. I actually don't even believe in it. I actually think people should multiply.
You do?
I really think so. I mean, we should just kill the rich and multiply. Yes. Just kill the rich because they keep too many resources to themselves.
They really do.
And if you were to redistribute, there should be a cap. I really believe that there should be like a level. You can't get richer than this. There should be like, okay, this is the maximum you can get.
Yeah.
And because otherwise you just get these crazy people who were basically utterly frustrated throughout their whole teenage years because they were nerds, becoming so rich that all they want to do is to take revenge. Because that's what they're doing.
Abuse their power. I think that's interesting. Like kind of a cutoff point for. But what do they do? Like, what if they're so good at making money? What like then at a certain point their resources get distributed to.
What does it mean to be so good at making money?
Like you look at like the Elon Musks, or you look at the because there's like 100 Elon Musks. There's a few of them. You look at the people that are fucking Bezos and these people that are just able to build these like towers of wealth and then cities, and they just keep being able to expand their business like limits and they just keep making money. So these people, we need to use those people, right? That like they should exist and they should continue to do. But that said, all of that wealth making is also usually using means of exploitation, right? Like there are a lot of problems in Amazon work rights.
I believe that the only way to make money is to dodge the laws. This is how you make money, because Laws are made in a certain way, and I actually think you can only become so rich if you actively, proactively lobby and make sure that all competition is destroyed by either legal or illegal means. This is how you make money. You destroy the competition. You're not good at making money. You're good at fucking people up. This is how you make money. In my humble opinion, as somebody who's been living off savings from jobs I have done 2 years ago. That's
perfect.
whatever that means.
Yeah, like I don't know, I've never really
You know.
suffered, like I've suffered my financial position since I moved to Berlin has been the worst it's ever been. Like it was in Australia, it is so easy to make money and be very, very financially comfortable.
Yes.
In Germany, like as an expat, whenever you move countries, right, it's not easy. And then trying to figure your, get rights as someone that doesn't speak the language and building all those things up. But making money and really avoiding the law. I feel like there are lots of people that make money that aren't killing competition or dodging the law. But they're not the super rich. The super rich are absolutely those ones, I think.
Well, I mean, I also think that if you have a system in your hands that also sort of influences how people think, then it's way easier to make more money because you are basically telling people what they need, convincing them that they need something. And just by the way, I also sell those things I'm telling you I think you need. Like at some point it just becomes a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy in which then, do we actually need to go to Mars? No, but this is not even the point. The point is we need to go to these planets to get some resources to keep on producing those things that these people produce. This is not something for the advancement of humanity, it's something for the advancement of their business. They are going for world domination, and we have to be clear about this. We need to fuck them up.
How do we fuck them up?
We have to turn off all of our devices immediately, right now. Right now, if we turn everything off, if you're listening to this, just turn everything off. Because
I feel like I should just start recording and close the
imagine if
right?
it's just...
That would be perfect.
Yes. It's just... Yes. It should be like this.
And then just white noise. For
yes.
Next, yeah. That would be perfect.
If there's a big solar flare... everything's gonna be so fucked up. And everything is just gonna
Would that burn us? I don't know what a solar flare does.
It basically is a solar flare. It wouldn't really affect us. It would just affect the whole system of the whole grid of electricity.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would fuck us good. And it would fuck us. It would fuck hospitals as well, though. But it would fuck Jeff Bezos.
I'm a strong support,
I'm a strong supporter of no electricity in hospitals.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say. Really, there's too much. You're saying fewer, less babies, more environment. Modern medicine is the biggest problem that I think we have. We're keeping people alive for too long. They should be
dead.
They should be.
They should be dead by now.
There should be a limit. There should be a limit of how many chances you get. And everyone that might listen to this, particularly my stepdad, would hate me, saying this, but there's a limit, right? There's how much money, how many resources are we going to throw to each human life? If you've got, I don't know.
I think that old people are necessary.
I agree.
But I know that you think that I'm trying to say something nice, but I'm not. I'm just really trying to say that old people are necessary so that they keep on voting for somebody really, really backwards. And so this is why we need the old people to be alive, so that the world will not change for the young. You know what I mean? This is a whole conspiracy, I'm telling you. They're keeping these old people alive.
Yeah,
so that they can keep on voting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Welcome to Conspiracy Central.
That's exactly what this is. I'm a big supporter of old people. I think it's okay how much they smell. I think they're still important.
Oh.
No, I have more of an affinity with like the youth, I guess, than I have with old people. I have less exposure to old people. However, I don't want them to I don't want to kill them. I just think there are lots of old people who don't have massive medical challenges and they just live till they're 80 or 70 or 90 or whatever. But it's the ones that are just, constantly like they're miserable, but they're being kept alive by modern medicine, or, it's just.
I think it's violence.
What I'm saying?
No, not this one thing you were saying. Just like in general, I think it is violence to keep people, especially in a world that they don't really understand anymore.
Right.
Because like I saw this video. It was a very interesting video of a woman being a very old woman. She was like nearly 100, and she was a Victorian woman. She was born in like the video was shot in 1974 or something like that, and she was basically born pretty much 100 years before, so 1870.
Whoa.
And you see she was interviewed by a very young woman, and you see this woman who's nearly 100 years old, who basically was born in the previous century, went through 2 world wars. And
wasn't it like there were economic revolutions? Like, the revolutions were in the early 1800s?
She was basically born at the kind of the very beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And this woman in 1970, because you relate to the 70s way more, even though it was 50 years ago, you do relate to the 70s a lot. And basically, this woman was interviewing this older woman, and the younger woman was asking, so, has the world changed for you? And you see this woman basically with a headdress, with like a long red dress, and she just goes like, oh yes, the world is not the same as when I was born. And you can it's like she's out of a book. She's out of a book. And there were no planes when she was born. Like, there was nothing. There was just grass and cows and just a few rivers. Just and so to keep old people, like, you really need to have very open-minded old people who, I think, who are not scared of change. Otherwise, you're just gonna have very disoriented old people who also. Nowadays, our old people generation, and I feel safe to say it because Italy is the second oldest country in the world after Japan. If these old people, they still think they're right. They still think they have it all right, and that we are doing everything wrong. They have this attitude about themselves. And that's because these are the people that survived the Second World War, and they think they're better than us, and they still do. And what do? They do nothing good.
They do nothing good. It's so the similarities or the connecting points between Japan and Italy continue to fascinate me. Like, because those are the languages that I studied, which is the dumbest combination of anything to study. And oldest nationalities, like the old what's it, like the life expectancy or whatever of Italy and Japan, like oldest in the world. Also lowest birth rates. I think Germany is now in that. I'm not sure if it's second, third, or first, but the 3 countries.
Germany has got low birth rate.
Really low birth rate. I think it's increased a little bit recently,
thanks to Prince Lauerberg.
Exactly. I think also the pandemic. Like, everyone was just like, let's fucking do this. Like, a lot of people. There's so many pandemic babies. And
some of them are called COVID, some of them Corona.
Imagine
in like
COVID for the boys, Corona for
exactly.
the girls.
Corona. Hello, so we have Corona, COVID-19, Ebola. What the fuck are you doing here? What?
You're 10 years ago. Yeah, exactly. So I think babies, Corona.
low birth rates.
And Japan and Italy, these similarities, and Japan and Germany is also kind of up there. I don't know what the life expectancy like is in Germany, but yeah, it's bizarre that these two countries, there's other similarities too, like kind of like the family, like the Yakuza is not the same as the mafia, but also like these, like Japan was also just all these tiny little like settlements and only became unified for war purposes, really, and like a standard Japanese was taught to unify, just like Italian. Like all these weird similarities.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I got on that.
Well, that was good. Didn't know about Japan being unified
by language.
A few people.
Well, yeah, not. I'm not.
I don't know what country actually was unified, if not by just a small minority.
Yeah, right.
I think minorities always rule.
Yeah.
Because there's only a minority who has a vision of what to do.
Exactly.
And they have to convince everybody else. That's how good you gotta be.
Yeah.
Just a few people command. No?
If a solar flare comes and like we've got no electricity, like how do you think you would fare in a
no electricity world?
Yeah.
I think I would have a ball. I think I will also get killed very quickly, but
you reckon?
Think, well, because I think I would develop this certain sense of recklessness. Because I actually think that a lot of I also think, like in the past 15 years, there's basically anywhere you go, there's Wi-Fi. Everywhere you go, there's like some kind of thing that just beams out some kind of, I don't know, wave. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I sometimes I really feel the difference from being in a city and being in the woods or being in a forest. First of all, because
please. How do you feel?
First of all, because I've been taken there and I have a bag on my head. But like, secondly, I just really feel the lack of electricity.
Yeah, right. You like, as in you can sense it in your body.
And I feel because you're in nature, you feel like you're more.
What's funny? I recently moved into this apartment, and my fridge cable was what did I do? My fridge cable was broken. Like I let it sit for a day, and then it was like fuck, like it's completely spliced. And so I did a really bad attempt at repairing it, and then it blew all the power when I plugged it in. And I touched the area around it afterwards, like touched the fuse box, and then touched the cord. Like once I realized it was all safe, but I felt the electricity in my body afterwards. And even recently I was drilling into the concrete walls of my bathroom, and the power of like a masonry drill, I felt the electricity in me after that as well, like very, very physical things. So I think being in the woods, yeah, like if you're not close to electrical things,
there's another kind of power that comes in, which is your own, because body is electricity as well.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how electricity works. I have no understanding whatsoever. I can only give you the experiential sort of experience of the experience of the experience. And I know that in a world without electricity, I think, I don't know, just be cycling around and high five everybody and just stop by and just try to get some chicken out of people burning, cooking chickens and like burning. We go back to fire, which it's a great element. I love it.
I love fire too. I think fire is one of the best elements. Water's good.
Water you need washing your clothes and washing or just.
A lot of cold washes, like the washing machine. Like I'd be a bit bummed out because I just got this great washing machine and I wouldn't be able to use it.
Oh, but I'm sure we can just make it spin by hand.
Yeah, right. Just like you could create like a pulley system with some string. You just pull it and it
people would start doing things together again because there's no automation anymore.
Yeah, I would love it. Like I would be super down for a world with no electricity. Like, we could still be doing comedy. We'd just, it'd be like, hey, like, guys, we're all, you just have to tell people, like, people would be marking the days.
That's what I mean. Like, this is, like, for what we do, electricity and civilization in general is just an impediment.
Yeah.
Like, what we like to do, it's anything, like, anything that is beyond, like, the 1500s is just, like... It's unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
I just need to go somewhere, good acoustic, you know, like they would create, you know, there are these amphitheaters with this great acoustic. You're right in the middle, and instead of being on stage, you're low. And the people are on top and they can hear very well.
Yeah.
And you just say something. You don't even need a microphone and everybody has a hell of a time.
I actually so much prefer performing. That's a huge call, but I actually so much prefer performing without a microphone. I really, like, doing a comedy last week, it was raining so heavily and it's undercover, but the rain, like these fucking, like, umbrella-y things, they were just full of water and it was dripping onto the speaker and then onto the mixer, and I was like, I am not going to kill a comedian tonight. So I disconnected everything, and I've performed without microphones, just like sets, but hosting a whole show, like being a host, oh my God, it was so much fun. But also the energy in the space with the people, and everyone was packed. Also, proximity of people. I think with electricity, everyone is more distant. Mm-hmm. And without electricity, everyone has to, get closer together. And then it's the human body electricity that's connecting people.
You know what? I'm sick of it. I am sick of this overdoing everything, everything has to be compartmentalized, everything has to be made more efficient. Mm-hmm. And I think it's such a lack of respect for the human body.
Yes.
It's such a lack of respect for the potentialities that the human body has. I've always thought about the microphone thing.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about when there was, you know, comedians have been around just like prostitutes. They've been around for a long time because they've always been necessary. Mm-hmm. And I said prostitute, I could have said any other profession, but that's okay.
I think it's the right one to choose.
And I was thinking about when the microphone got into the mix, you know, and how that changed. Mm-hmm. Because of course you could do different sort of shows in which you didn't have to be necessarily in a place with good acoustic. You just needed a good microphone, well amplified, and you could talk to a lot of people. Yeah. And I also wonder, just holding the microphone or having the mic stand, it has changed a bit the style and the way in which the comedian projects itself. Totally. And without the microphone, surely you sort of open up your body more because you have to be more visible and you have to be, and you can't just do like awkward bits because with the microphone you can just do awkward shit and you can, and without the microphone you have to be like more in a positive mindset because you have to shine. Yeah,
you have to hold that space. You have to, why are they listening to you? There's nothing. Exactly. There's nothing showing why they should. You have to make your presence worthy of their attention.
So the microphone has changed the comedy
completely.
And you know, and like if I was thinking, what if at some point they just say, well, microphones now have to be connected to your passport. And now it's just like, so whatever you say in the mic is gonna go straight to the government. And
what?
I'm a bit paranoid.
You're a bit.
I'm a bit slightly paranoid.
A bit slightly paranoid.
But I think it's healthy. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, paranoia is healthy.
Paranoia is not healthy, but surely thinking about the worst is it's gruesome. It's horrible. It's but it is. If I think it, I always think. If I think it, somebody has thought it as well.
Oh, that's a sad thought, though. I think like that too, but I don't know. I feel like that in certain places in the world. Right? Like, I feel like that's for me, that's how I describe London. I feel like when I'm in London, it feels like there's been, like, no thought is original. Like, it just feels like everything has been thought of already here. Like, there's a oppressive feeling of, like, creative limitation.
Why?
I don't know. It's just the feeling. Whereas in Berlin, I feel like new ideas are able to be born here, and there's like space for them to grow, and there's an energy here that, like, there's an electricity here in the air and the earth that, like, allows new ideas to actually be born and then take shape, and there's energy to, like, make them be realized.
Well, yeah. No. I mean, the I don't know, like the London thing. I lived in London for 5 years, and I can tell you that it's a heavy place. It's a very heavy place. Heavy, yeah. But it's also very much determined by what kind of social status you're in, and And I find it ultimately a little bit boring.
Totally.
Mostly because, yes, everything is extremely, extremely regulated. And I was there in the times of CCTV cameras that were basically spreading everywhere. And people were just... It was interesting because there were a lot of cameras everywhere you were. And then... and there were, of course, I would always hang out with... paranoid people who were scared of any kind of surveillance, and they would go like, in that building, you see over there, in that building, this is where all the screens for the cameras are. And then but nobody looks at them. This there is it is also true that paranoia is one thing, but also this paranoia contributes to make power more effective.
Absolutely.
In the sense that
panopticon, no?
Power in itself is there to scare you, but if you buy into it, it becomes bigger than what it is, and it is sort of what power does is very banal, because you're basically being watched. But you're being watched by whom? You're just being watched by a machine.
Yeah, I just like paranoia. I don't like with CCTV stuff, with whatever. It's like I think you need to having a fear of that stuff and allowing that to even enter your mind as time and thought is like, unless you're doing something to under what's the word, like subvert the system. Then like, unless you've got a political movement that is trying to subvert the system, unless you're engaging in acts of like violent rebellion, I don't know why anyone's paranoid.
I don't think I would be. I don't think. No. Of course, you should not be paranoid. But I think that just the fact of having something looking at you changes you. Because this is, like, it's a rule. I find it's a rule of life.
It is a rule.
So just for you, the awareness of knowing that something is listening or something is watching changes you. You're not the same person, So it's not about being paranoid. It's just about being aware that just these little things, these little devices everywhere are actually involving more than what it seems. Like, they are changing you. And of course, like, it's like, okay, now I got drumsticks in my hand and I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, adults only, the comedy podcast of only adults. Yeah. And I can do this.
You can do that.
But think about everything that changes you while you don't even realize.
Yeah, I don't like. There's a part of me that's like, I feel like it's basically that a description of that is like you constantly have a mirror in front of you.
I am preaching. Yes.
Yeah, and it's just like you're always aware of how you look or how you might be seen, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that exists because of. I think that exists because of our parents, right? I think we all have this.
Oh God.
Not God.
Not God necessarily.
Not God, like our parents. Because our parents were always watching us. I think there's still something, even if today's technology didn't exist, there's still something in the human brain that considers always being watched.
My God, you are so right. Because I remember growing up in a small town where I'm from, before smartphones, before even like a stable internet connection that would load pictures in like less than 5 minutes. The sense of boredom and also of imprisonment that I experienced just because of the way in which I was brought up. And how at the beginning this kind of technology was so liberating because it would allow you to project yourself onto other worlds.
Yeah.
It was truly magical. I, however, believe that this right now, most of what we have, technology-wise, is just an excuse to make money. It's not actually useful. I think most of it is like there's a very good system to communicate and to make work easier and faster. But I think we're getting to a point in which we're being overly exploited because all of our data is we don't really understand what's going on. I think we're a bit at loss.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Yeah, the way I interact with it, I definitely feel like it's all for work. And so all the data that anyone's collecting from me is based on what I'm doing for work. And by work, I just mean comedy and like promoting shows and consuming comedy. And music and other stuff, sure.
Yeah.
But like that's it. So I'm like, yes, we're...
Oh, I'm simply just annoyed that somebody is making money off the free work that I do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's all. Like I don't care about privacy. I mean, I don't care. I do care about privacy, but it's not a main concern. I'm more concerned about the fact that there's somebody basically doing that to me, and because they do it to like millions of people, they're just making money off whatever we do normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's another level, you know. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. Let's get off the grid. Let's get off the grid.
Get off the grid and join some good trees, because trees have... have you ever thought, when I hug a tree, I sometimes get, even though the trees have got no arms to hug me back, I feel way more hugged sometimes than from people.
It's been a while since I've hugged a tree, I'll be honest. I do love, this new apartment that I'm in, the amount of life that you get from just being close to nature and the number of trees
it's
here.
very good.
It's special. But we have to wrap things up because we've got a
we
show
have
to go to.
Okay, bye-bye. Yes. Okay, bye now.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye. All right, that has been...
adults only, adults only, comedy podcast. Wait.
So good. All right, that's been it.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Filippo, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.